Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is a quick review of a sheet metal hole punch tool set, and I bought this tool from Amazon. If you do a lot of jewelry work or a sheet metal work, then this tool is absolutely mandatory for you. So before jumping to a full review of the tool, let's have a quick look onto the box content itself. So the tool come up in a plastic case and everything has been well organized with a set of 7 dies, the tool itself, user manual, and flat metal piece which actually used for the installation of the die. So the tool itself is quite heavy and beefy and have a lot of weight compared to the size, but one thing I didn't like is that the top lever arm have a slight slackness. But I noticed that this slackness didn't affect the work at all. So onto the right side there is a marking scale, and the actual use of that scale is to adjust the throat length from the center of that die, and this is often used if you want to mark continuous hole at a certain distance, which I show you later. And you can use that flat metal piece to tighten up the scale at a certain distance. You can also use a flathead screwdriver, that will also work. Other than that, there are 2 mountings for the die. One is for the bottom die, which is female one, and the male die is going to be mounted onto the top lever arm. The bottom die remains fixed to its place while the top die, which is male die, go up and down. So here we have a 7 set of dies and each die have a matching pair. So these dies have different sizes starting from 2mm up to 7mm, and all of them are hardened, made from carbon steel. They are quite hard, that's why they are able to make hole into the sheets. The quality of the die seems to be very promising. So if the material is like brass, copper and aluminum, then it won't be a very big deal in punching the hole into those metal. But if you wanted to do that in stainless or mild steel, then I don't think you can barely able to increase the thickness more than 20 gauge. So 22-24 would be ideal if you have to do that in stainless or a mild steel sheet. In the case of brass, copper and aluminum, you can easily go up to 16 gauge without any trouble, but you definitely gonna need a lot of hand force to do that. So the installation of die is pretty simple. I'm using the tool provided along with this kit, and you need to unscrew the bolt mounted onto the top lever arm. So once you remove the screw, the top jaw is completely free from the pivot point, and from thereafter what you need to do is to push that upper jaw slightly backward so that there would be an empty space and you are able to slide that die into the hole. And once it go all the way down, you need to just bring back the upper jaw and then lift the die and then insert that die into the T-track made onto the upper jaw. So once the die completely fitted up onto the top jaw, all you need to do is to screw back that jaw to the main frame. And now you can see that when I open and close the arm, that die will move up and down. Now the only thing I have to do is to install the bottom die and start punching the holes. So for the demonstration I'm going to use this brass, although I am going to perform the same procedure onto the aluminum and copper sheet also. So if you take a closer look onto the top die, then there is a small pointed tip at the top, and you can use that tip actually to align the die onto the marking spot where you wanted to punch the hole. So in the first attempt you can see that the material was not removed properly, and the reason for that is that the bottom die needs to be moved a tiny bit upward so that this material can be cutted out completely. So once the bottom die is completely fitted to the exact location, you will see that how easily it will able to remove the material from the sheet. There are 2 things which I really don't like about this tool is that you really gonna need a lot more bigger grip, because it is quite uncomfortable to hold if you have to punch sheet of 18 gauge or a 16 gauge Second thing which I don't like is that the hole have a slight burr left, and you need a file to remove those burrs. So now I'm going to use that scale to mark the holes into the aluminum angle, and that will show you how handy that scale is if you have to mark the holes at a certain distance from the edge. The aluminum angle is a tiny bit thicker, that's why I have to take the support from the bottom surface, and that will definitely gonna ease the work if you do punching in this way. And you can see that how effective that stop gauge is if you have to mark the holes at a certain distance from the edge. So I also performed the same test onto the copper sheet also, and one thing I did different is that I also drill a hole with the help of drill, and there is a significant amount of difference between both the holes. The hole drill with the help of drill bit is having a lot more burrs compared to the one which I have been punched with this tool, and punching also gonna save you a lot of time compared to the drill. And overall said, if you do a lot of sheet metal work and needs a lot of drilling for pop rivets, some of your jewelry works, then I would highly recommend you to grab one of this tool. So overall said, for me this is definitely considered to be a good tool in my arsenal, and I am definitely gonna use it for my future builds which I am posted on my another channel. So if you like this video, then definitely hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Till then, goodbye, have a safe making.